In this video, I show you exactly how to find the values of sine and cosine of these angles. The first thing that you would want to note is that on the x or y plane, the x coordinates or the x values represent cosine and the y values represent sine. So for example, here when you have 1, 0, 1 represent cosine of some angle is equal to 1 and sine of some angle is equal to 0. Having said that, we locate 1, 0, which is on the right, and 0, 1 on top, and negative 1, 0 on the left, and 0, negative 1 at the bottom. Now, in a more practical sense, you can see that this point here is 1, 0, which tells us to say cosine 0 is 1, right? Because 1 is for cosine here, which is x. So cosine 0 is 1 or cosine 2 pi is 1, okay? Sine 0, 0 as an angle is 0 and sine 2 pi is 0. In the same way, let us observe this angle which is at the very bottom, 3 pi over 2. On the x or y plane, this is a point 0, negative 1. So this tells us to say cosine 3 pi over 2 is 0, right? And sine 3 pi over 2 is negative 1, okay? Since x, y is cosine, sine. Next, I call your attention to angles in the first quadrant. So you know that cosine pi over 6 is root 3 over 2, and sine pi over 6, which is sine 30, is 1 over 2. In the same way, cosine and sine pi over 4 is root 2 over 2. And cosine pi over 3 is a half, and sine pi over 3 is root 3 over 2. We use these points in the first quadrant to find the values of sine and cosine into the second, third, and fourth quadrant. So if you have a point in general x, y in the first quadrant, in the second quadrant it will be negative x, y. Why negative? Because x is negative. In the third quadrant it will be negative x, negative y. Everything becomes negative. And in the fourth quadrant, only y is negative. So you have x, negative y. Having said that, the point root 3 over 2, 1 over 2 in the second quadrant becomes negative root 3 over 2, 1 over 2. And the second point, negative root 2 over 2, root 2 over 2 becomes negative in the x coordinate, which is negative root 2 over 2. And the other point becomes negative a half. In the same way, a point in the third quadrant has negative everywhere, right? Because x, y in the first quadrant is negative x, negative y in the third quadrant. So every point is negated. That is why you have negative root 3 over 2, negative a half, and these other points. In the same way, if you're in the fourth quadrant, the x coordinate remains positive while the y coordinate is negative. So root 3 over 2, half becomes root 3 over 2, negative half. And these other coordinates, you only retain a negative symbol in the y coordinate. In a more practical sense, if I know the value of sine pi over 6 in the first quadrant, I should be able to find the value of sine 5 pi over 6, sine 7 pi over 6, and sine 11 pi over 6. Because the sine is positive in the second quadrant, it retains the same value half. And because the sine is negative in the fourth and in the third quadrant, That is why 7 pi over 6 is negative half, and sine 11 pi over 6 is also negative half. So in a nutshell, you only need to know the values of the standard angles in the first quadrant. Then you should be able to find the value of other angles in the other quadrants by following the rules, either subtracting if you are in the second quadrant, adding if you are in the third quadrant, and subtracting from 2 pi if you are in the fourth quadrant. See you in the next episode.